Hello YouTube, my name is Travis and I'm from Sabine Pass, and today we're going to show you how to make this keychain from thick maple wood on the Glowforge. The reason why I'm making this video is because when we had to make these keychains as a project for our class grade, we couldn't find many really helpful videos on this, and so we decided to take it upon ourselves and to create one for you. My partner Anonymous and I have worked on this video. The first step is you're going to want to find an image that you'd like. I'm going to use a key, and also when you go into images, you're going to want to use the tools, make sure it's a large image, and make sure that you're allowed to use this image. I've already picked out an image, this key right here. So once you're in Photoshop and you have your image picked, you first want to create a new layer by pressing Ctrl J, or Windows J, or Command J, whichever computer you're using. And once you've got this layer, you want to make it black and white. You may do this by making a hue and saturation layer and turning the saturation all the way down, which creates a black and white effect on this layer. Once you've got the hue and saturation layer, you're going to want to go back to your background copy, put it on the color dodge filter, then hit Command I or Control I to invert the image, and you're going to want to add a Gaussian blur. And if you want to add text, you may. I'm going to do it afterwards. I like how that looks, and so now I'm going to add text to it because I'd like to have text on there. I'm going to modify the text so that by hitting Control T, and no, move. There we go.
And as we're switching to Illustrator, we're going to want to make a PNG out of our picture. So I'm just going to title this Key. And now we're switching to Illustrator. You just want to open your file. Right here. Okay, so now that we're on Illustrator, you can see I pulled up my image, and as you can see, the image is too big for the canvas, so we're just going to resize the image. We're going to press Shift because we want the image to stay the exact same size without altering it or stretching the image. And now we're going to go to layers. You're going to want to create a new layer. We're going to use the round pen tool and make an outline around our image. As you can see, it's starting to cover the key with white, so we are going to go to this right here, and we're going to click None so that you can see your image. And we're going to continue making the path around the key. Okay, so now that that's done, we go back to our cursor, and we're going to click the path, and we want to make the outline a lot thicker because we want the Glowforge to actually make an incision in whatever we're cutting this image out of. For this particular project, we're going to be using wood because we're making a keychain, so you're going to want to make the outline about 4 to 5. Now that you have the outline around your key, you're going to want to make a hole, because otherwise this isn't a keychain, this is just a cool image you cut out of wood. So like so. And we go to the cursor, And now we're going to want to go back to our layers and we're going to hide the original image. And now all you have to do is go to Files and Export As, and you want to export it as an SVG file. Just down here at the bottom.
Now that you've got your Illustrator file, your SVG, and your PNG, you want to go onto the Glowforge, log in obviously, and hit upload, and then find the files that you were using. In my case, it was the key PNG and the key SVG. I'm going to open the SVG first. It should bring me to a page where it shows me the material, and yes, there we go. So now once I'm here, I'm going to resize it a little because I don't want to use too much wood, and it should be good. Add artwork, upload, then upload the PNG as well. Now you want it to, you want to adjust the size so that they both are kind of the same, same size, because otherwise the SVG is what the Glowforge is going to cut through, and if your SVG is too big or too small, it'll cut through your design, which you don't want that to happen. I think I can make my key a little longer. Something like this should be good. I think that's good. Okay, now once I've got this and it's all set in how I want it to be, I first want to go into my materials. We're going to be using maple, this one. And now for the PNG that we're engraving, we want to make that an SD graphic. And we leave these settings the same. For the SVG that's being cut, we want to go into manual, make this 250. Now it may be different depending on the material you're using. For us, it's these settings proved the best. We got the best use out of the Glowforge using these settings. And so full power, 250 speed, and 3 passes. Once you've got all of this, it should be good to go. You would then hit print, and the design gets sent down to the Glowforge. Hit the glowing button, and it starts printing.
So actually this is the wrong type of wood. As you can see, this is thick purple acrylic, and that's not the wood we're supposed to be using.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a spare piece of wood, which reads thick maple plywood, and place it in there. Now that you have the finished product, you would want to open the Glowforge up and take it out of, there you go, just like that. And this is what the final project after you finished would look like. Back to your background copy, and you want to add a Gaussian blur. So yes. Once you have your hue and saturation layer done, you want to create a new layer, preferably above all of the other layers. On this layer, you're going to go to Filter, Blur, and create a Gaussian blur.
points. And we're going to want to also, since this is a keychain, make a hole. Because, I mean, well, it's not really a keychain if you can't put it on your key chain. This is bad.